What's up, YouTube? It's Zach back here with another video. Today, we're going to be looking at Verizon versus AT&T. Now, I want to give you some examples um, and all this kind of thing of when you would use Verizon or AT&T. What my experience has been this whole time, and yeah, so let's get to it. Now, I can already hear y'all clicking on your keyboard and being like, "Hey, um, why don't you compare T-Mobile in this case?" It's just it's just not gonna happen because I'm gonna show you why here in a minute. So let's get into it. So basically, you can see here, this is Lafayette, Indiana. Fairly large town in real size. It's a pretty fair town to get from this side of town right here to this Walmart over into West Lafayette. Takes about 25 minutes. Mid-sized town. Now we're going to type in Verizon, compare them first into in city, and then, yeah, okay. We don't want 5G NR. We don't want that. That's stupid. That's a fake tower right there where you're seeing that band 77. We're comparing their 4G LTE premium network. Oh, did someone finally put it in? No shot, did they? Not some of them all. There's a new tower they put in over here to. Those aren't there either. Okay, anyway. These red ones right here aren't there. And right here by this railroad track, there's one right there. But I'm going to tell you everything they're doing to expand their coverage and everything, just to get a hold of your AT&T versus Verizon comparison. So basically, right here, they have this city covered. They're the first ones to roll out 2000s, early 2000s. They used to be the king, but not anymore, in my opinion. I've traveled through the USA on vacation, business trips, whatever. Um, and it just doesn't seem like they're the same anymore. I had Verizon in ninth grade when they still had CDMA, and when they had all their other good goodies, and they used to be a good network. That's when they were starting to be AT&T. AT&T and Verizon have beat T-Mobile. I'm not saying T-Mobile's getting better. So all those T-Mobile fanboys in the comments, don't come after me. I'm just saying they're not as close. T-Mobile's not as close as Verizon and AT&T. They might be in the city, but rural areas, they're not. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I don't even have to show y'all AT&T because keep my word, AT&T has more towers than Verizon in my city, just besides all these small cells. And these small cells do not do anything because they literally have a macro over here, and this macro covers this whole area just fine. Um, I think they did it because they had their congested LTE. And why not, for shits and gigs, just show y'all AT&T's. Basically, macro there, and then that's an extra tower Verizon does not have. And then this is the thing, right? Verizon is dead. They're on this tower. AT&T just built a new tower over here. They built a new tower. T-Mobile co-located, and then they also have this tower out here. And I just think it's crazy. Someone help me understand. They have a tower out here in Otterburn, somewhere, right about out here, and it shoots. They have a sector facing this way right here. They have 5G UW on it, but as soon as I go into a gas station right here, drops down to 1 bar LTE is gone, and then the AT&T tower has full bars of 5G. Um, it might not be your low band 5G. I think it was like 900 megahertz when I did a cell mapper. Like that's not really true LTE at all, in my opinion, because you got to go 500 megahertz, 600 megahertz of spectrum for that. But anyway, Lafayette wise, is literally beautiful, beautiful build out for AT&T. They have their stuff scattered everywhere and everything. Now, why is my mouse stuck? When you go out here, this is what T-Mobile needs to work on. Their coverage is good here. I don't know why it doesn't say their coverage is good. They also have a tower right here. They have towers multiple places. They have them in country cities because they care, I would assume, about their consumers, you know, coverage. This is where it starts to get spotty because, as you can see, this is probably for not even miles, and this might be where Verizon comes in. No, not at all, not at all. Holy, this is what I mean. AT&T might be better at this point. Anyway, sorry. Let me get back on point. Out here in Pine Village, AT&T had a tower here I showed you guys earlier. This is Pine Village. Is this Pine Village? Oh, the hell it's not. Where's Lafayette at? Guys, I'm really lost. Oh, I'm in Indy. Holy shit. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, Pine Village. AT&T has a tower right here which shoots into there. They have really good coverage because they have to cover at Oxford. Oxford will not let any provider at all, T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, how much they give them, they will not let them at all build anything in there at all. So they're kind of stuck. Verizon has a tower right in Pine Village, or Pine Village, yeah. Um, but this is the thing. See where T-Mobile comes in and has nothing. They have nothing. They're on this tower. Why? Why? Hello? That's not T-Mobile. They have nothing. Nothing at all. Literally. We have one tower out here. Nothing. And that's what makes T-Mobile not comparable to AT&T and Verizon. And this is what CellMapper will not show you with AT&T and Verizon. I just wanted to show you that T-Mobile, where Verizon and AT&T have coverage built out, AT&T might have more towers. Verizon, at the end of the day, might have more towers. People rely on towers, and AT&T and Verizon had something built out over here. T-Mobile's dead over here. This tower does not shoot a beam. They have their sector facing that way, and then one that way because they got to get, over there. But my point to you guys is literally, at the end of the day, it's not about how who has more towers. It's about the tower placement, sectoring placement, and and their spectrum. A lot of people are asking when they're in an upgraded tower. This tower right here has a gig backhaul, right? Has a gig backhaul. I know this is showing you T-Mobile, but AT&T's on the site too. DoD, a fully gig upgrade. I'll put a video of it and link it to Reddit in the description so you can see, because I posted a video of me standing outside of my friend's house and the towers were literally facing the neighborhood, sectors facing the neighborhood. I was pulling about 940 down. It's a gig backhaul upgraded, but the frequency and spectrum is not upgraded. That's where Verizon shines, and you can get 5G UW, 3-4 miles away and have 300 down. Where AT&T, their 5G plus starts to get unusable the further away you go because they don't have a lot of spectrum upgrades yet. Hopefully, when they do upgrade their spectrum, it should compare to Verizon, because AT&T, I'm very impressed with them. They are starting to build out their network more. There's a tower right here of Verizon's. There's a couple more towers on the edge of town that Verizon hasn't even said, hey, we're going to even put low band 5G. They just have their LTE and it's congested. That's why I switched from Verizon to AT&T's, because everything is congested. Verizon's in SOS mode once their their CDMA network fucking, left, which it sucks. It really does. But I mean, Verizon used to be king, but now everywhere when you go on the road, it seems like AT&T's king. Like one bar or not, you can have 1 bar of 5G plus out in the middle of nowhere, 1 bar of 5G, 1 bar LTE, and it's still usable in some type of way. That's all I have for you fine people today. I know this wasn't really a professional video. I know I kind of confused some people here. I know it's going to confuse people, but at the end of the day, Verizon has some work to do. AT&T is shining, starting to shine, starting to come out, and T-Mobile rural coverage is really bad. Their Lafayette, city speeds are amazing. They actually probably beat Verizon and AT&T, but they need to do rural location, and that's what doesn't sit right with me. Is that I can have amazing speeds in the city, but what if I have to leave the city one day and go somewhere? Like I know everyone's like, well, I don't leave the city. That's what I mean. Like if you have to go on a road trip, 2 hour road trip, and you have no bars, what are you gonna do when Verizon and AT&T are right there? That's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any questions about this video, what I was trying to say about their spectrum and all that kind of thing, let me know. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.